my garden. First, I always like to say that I'm gardening in France, southern France, southwestern France, zone 8B, and this is my garden, which I created all by myself pretty much with George's help in some heavy areas. And so today I'm going to work a little bit, and it's been really, really hot. I've been spending most of my time just watering and trying to keep all the plants alive. And for many of you guys know, I am watering by hand. I'd like to have some kind of a irrigation system where I don't have to worry about the watering because really I spend so much time here. But right now I don't have that set up, and also we are still not sure how we want to do that. So and I have been resisting it for a long time because I really like watering by hand, but it's taking a lot of my time now. So but everything is looking really good so far. Everything is alive. So today I'm going to plant a few things, and I have three Buddleias. They are kind of a dwarf Buddleias. I had this for a while actually. I've been so busy that I haven't had time to go ahead and plant them. And you can see already the roots are starting to. I actually, when I tried to pick them up, they were actually rooted into the ground. They were in a kind of a hidden, shady area because I didn't want them scorched by the sun, and so they were a little bit tucked away. And as I tried to pick it up, you can see the roots were already growing into the ground, so they're really ready to go into to be planted. And I do see that there has been some slug damage on it, but it's okay. I'm not really worried about that. As soon as I plant them, they will be happy, etc. But you can see the blooms, aren't they so pretty? Look at the blooms. I love the color. Now this one is called Little Ruby. It's a butterfly, Buddleia. It's called Little Ruby, and it's so cute. I saw this in a garden center. I really liked it, and George and I had to go back. I really wanted to go get it. When I got back to buy some, they were already sold out. They didn't have any, so I was able to find some online. Anyway, I'm really excited about the color, and the size is really small. So this will be about 50 centimeter by 50 centimeters tall and wide, and so it's not going to take a lot of space. But this time of a year, it's going to be really beautiful to have the blooms. So I think I'd like to plant all three of them back up in a sunny area up there. And then I have another two new nandinas that I'd like to plant. Now this one called Princess Nadia, and this is a new variety, I guess. They're really interesting. They're variegated. You can see how beautiful the leaves are. This is Ajuga, and this Ajuga, clearly it spreads. It's not very aggressive or anything, and they're easy to pull out if you don't want to. But I'm trying to, and I'll show you what I'm trying to do with them. I'd like to kind of have it as a little ground cover area. But this Princess Nandina, what I was reading about it, what's interesting is that it blooms for a longer period of time. So I'm very excited about it. And let's just go ahead and I'll show you what I want to do with them. Actually, we'll take everything and, oh no, I have it there. Okay, let's just go this way. And I'll show you where I'd like to plant them. So most of the time, all I've been doing is just trying to keep everything watered. And just yesterday or day before, we had lots of rain. Finally, I had a little bit of a break, and I just started working on trying to remove weeds and try to edge the garden. You can see, like, I got as far as about here, maybe, all the way there, but I do still have quite a bit of work to do. All this area and the top part of the area. So hopefully after the video, I can get to work and I can go through and clean up as much as I can. So hi, honey. Hi. It's okay. So if many of you guys remember this beautiful sculpture that I had, now this was up by the top of the pergola. If you have been following my videos, I have the second pergola that we are working on a top part of the garden. And so this one was sitting there, and I was intending to create a solar fountain. Unfortunately, we realized that it's not going to work well with the solar, and honestly, we are not going to dig and bring electricity. It's just not going to happen because the garden is already so established. I really don't want to dig, and that's quite a far to dig to get the electricity to it. I just decided I don't want to deal with that. If I do anything with the fountain, I probably will do it in the backyard. But for now, I decided to bring this sculpture here. And then I had another bowl up there, which when we go up there by the other pergola, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But there was another concrete bowl that I had, and I was going to combine both pieces together for the solar fountain, for the fountain, like a water fountain. But I decided to do solar fountain with that bowl. I just have another idea that I think it's going to work a little better. So I decided to move this here, and I thought this would be really beautiful because as we enter from the gate here, you can see that I think it's going to be really, really beautiful because it's right here, and I needed something here. And this area just really wasn't doing anything for me. I have some irises that's growing here, and I have hydrangeas. These are strawberry Sunday hydrangeas, which they're medium size, and they did really well this year. And I think they're beautiful. And I think the sculpture right here will be really great. I have irises, so I removed some of the irises and I replanted into different flower beds. So this area, what I'd like to do is have these ajugas. Did I say nandina? Maybe I said nandina. I didn't intend to say nandina. This is ajuga. So, or ajuga. I wanted to say bogleweed, which that also, but this is ajuga. And so what I'd like to do is create a ground cover right on the edge here, because what I used to do here is just plant annual flowers, but nothing really did well here because it's really hot and sunny, and also I have lots and lots of narcissus daffodils that are planted on in the edges. I kind of don't want to disturb them too much. And I'm going to plant these two, maybe one here, one on this side, and then one in the center, one here, and then I'll let them spread on their own, and that way I'm not going to damage any of the daffodils, and I can basically start training them and directing them all only just through the edges to have a little ground cover, and it will have beautiful blue flowers, because the blue spiky flowers, and as far as I understand, they do bloom for a longer period of time, which would be really beautiful to have that coverage here. So that's my idea of these. And when they don't bloom, they also look really beautiful. You can see it has a beautiful burgundy color there. It's a beautiful variegated ground cover, which will just bring another texture interest here. So that's the idea. That's what I'd like to do. So I think I will go ahead and plant one right there, and maybe just one here. As you can see, this bed needs to be worked on. I have little weeds here there, but I'll get to it. Forgive me for that. But okay, so this is what I'd like to do. Something here, and one here. And then they will basically start spreading a little bit. They will spread gently. They are not going to be aggressive. So as they do, I will direct them just to keep them on the edges. That's the idea. I hope they don't really go into it too much where it becomes a problem, because with creeping Jenny there, I thought that's what I would do, but it's been really difficult to keep them in control. I don't want to remove them completely because I really love them, and I'll show you what it's just completely taken over this entire bed. So let's go here and I'll show you what my creeping Jenny is doing in this bed. So look at this creeping Jenny, but it hasn't been bad. I guess it looks really nice. It's really pretty, and it's all covered, but I have been trying to keep it more contained and maybe give a little bit of a shape, because honestly, in front of the boxwoods, I kind of like to have maybe annual flowers just to bring a really nice color here. But it has taken over. It's okay. I think it'll be fine. And especially I have a stump there that we cut this big tree, that removed this big tree here. It was a pine tree, old pine tree. So I think this creeping Jenny will probably creep over and just cover all that stump anyway and look really nice. It would be really nice there. So yeah, so this is what's going on. Let's take the Buddleias, and I'll show you where I'd like to plant the Buddleias. And then after I plant these plants, I have a project that I have to tackle, and hopefully you guys might enjoy watching this because this is a kind of a project I really needed to get done. I haven't been able to get done because I've been so busy. But this project here, this has to be tackled. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. I have to get up there and basically see if I can bend them, if they're bendable, because I maybe let them go too long. I'm not sure. I'll just have to see how much of the elasticity is still in the branches. See if I can make them as a main canes and probably just bring them, curve them over on this side. And if not, I just basically probably have to just trim it. So we'll get up there and see what's going on with that. But let's go ahead and get these ones into the ground. Very excited about these Buddleias. Okay, so this is the upper part of the garden, which as you can see, this area has been developed, a lot later than the front, because when I started working in this garden, I started from the closer to our door and kind of worked my way up here. And you can see there's still a lot to be planted here. There's quite a few spots. But what I was looking at this summer and I was thinking, I think I'm just going to plant lots of dahlias next year because this is the really hot, sunniest area in the garden. And I thought, I have lots of sunny space here. You can see even on this side, which is still empty. And I decided, I think what I'll do is just plant lots of dahlias and just have lots of flowers, because actually when they come up this year, I have few scattered here there that are starting to bloom, because this is the season for their blooms, and I'm starting to really enjoy them. And I thought, why not? Let's just do that. Look at this clematis. This clematis was the one that we just planted about last only a couple of videos ago, I think. And look, I already have a bloom and it's doing really, really good. So at first when I planted, it did terrible. I was very shocked that it went brown completely. Oh, here you can see I really need to cut this branch. So it went completely brown, and then I just didn't do anything, let it do its thing, just keep watering, and then it started to green and start to keep going. One other really cool thing that I wanted to show you, I'm so excited because I just discovered that I have caladiums just came through here. So this is the area that I'm working, and you can see the staining. I'm almost finished staining this pergola also, because on my during my few hours of off time as possible, I've been getting in here and trying to stain this pergola, and I really, really like it. I still have a few spots that I have to get done, and then we are tackling this because I need to redo this whole thing. My idea was to have the climbing roses, but this thing started falling apart, so I need to finish staining this. We have to remove this completely and secure it properly and make it straight. And then I have two beautiful climbing roses here that are going to climb on this arbor, and basically we'll just cover this. This is Wallerton Old Hall, David Austin, and it's going to be really pretty when this is all over. But look at the caladium. I saw last early spring, I went ahead and planted three caladiums, and I was hoping that they will come back. This is the first time I did that. I planted caladium, and I thought, oh, maybe they rotted or something, because this area doesn't get a whole lot of sun and it stays quite wet. And I thought, okay, maybe next year I'll just have to plant them someplace a little drier. And then just recently, look at this. I am so excited. I was so happy when I saw them arrive. Oh my goodness. This one is a little smaller, but so I need to put some slug bait there because I noticed they're getting into this one. But I'm so excited. So next year I think I might plant quite a few of them because they're so pretty. Okay, so now let's go ahead and plant my Buddleia. So I would like to plant maybe one, I don't know, maybe someplace right here. This is ginger wine 9 bark. And I think this one I might move farther the other way. And this is going to be small. It's not going to get really big. So I think this probably be okay here. And then I'd like to plant maybe one right here. Let's see how they will do. This is pretty occupied. Maybe one right here. Maybe someplace here. Since this is done, I'm so excited to go ahead and plant everything because they've been sitting there for a while and waiting to go into the garden, into the soil. But you can see these are the dahlias I was telling you. I have few that it's coming out, blooming. This is really pretty. I like this one a lot. Love the deep color, kind of a jewel color tone. I have few here, just throughout this area. I have another one. So I actually really enjoy dahlias. They're so beautiful this time of a season. So I think probably I will just go ahead and plant lots of dahlias in the sunny areas in the spring. Need to tackle this climbing rose. All right, wish me luck. This is not gonna bend. It's not going to bend. This is very well. Not sure. I don't want to break. It's going to break if I force it. You know, well, I was thinking if I can bring the other side and try to bend. Do you think you can reach that or no? Okay, so George had to stop for a moment and give me a hand with those because it was pretty difficult to get those big canes and try to bring it over by myself. So what I'm going to do is probably remove, and for most of you guys, if you're familiar with the climbing rows, literal canes, like those lateral canes, has to be bent, and then anything that grows over it is the flower bearing shoots like this ones. So so these ones I'm just going to cut and remove because these are just basically overgrown. And then what I'm going to do is remove all the damaged leaves. Maybe it has yellow, has some disease on it, or so I'm going to remove all of those leaves and get rid of it. To basically just keep it healthy and trimmed. So this one, maybe I'll do that. Okay, so now, hope I don't fall. Um, I might cut this whole thing here. Okay, everyone, so I went ahead and finished trimming the climbing rows. I got a train, and you can see it looks a lot better. Some of the very young, beautiful main canes I decided to save. I decided to curve them, and as you know, for the climbing roses, if you don't curve them, you know, it doesn't produce lots of flowers, because if we keep them just going straight, all we will have is just a flower on top. So so I went ahead and curved it and trimmed it as much as possible, removed a whole bunch of things. Did the same with this other climbing rose. This one is a beautiful red climbing rose, but I've had really hard time with this one. You can see I removed several canes from this, so I have only one cane left. I'm going to see how it's going to do eventually. If it doesn't do well, I think I might just go ahead and replace it with something else. It just hasn't done well for me. But and sometimes it just takes a few years until they really start producing and start really doing well and growing. So I'm going to give a little time and see how it will do. But for most part, I'm so glad to tackle this project. I really didn't want to get into this because it's so thorny, and I tear myself. And I really don't like to wear gloves when I do it too much. I know it's crazy, but sometimes it's really difficult to tie and etc. Just feel the ties and stuff. Anyway, I've got pretty torn up, but for most part, it's done. I'm super happy about it. So thank you so much for subscribing to my videos. I am so glad that you guys are enjoying them, writing all the messages. Love hearing from all of you. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is all kind of what I do right now. It's just mostly try to water and keep them hydrated, keep them going, trim, weeds, deadhead. Not a whole lot going on, just mainly trying to keep up with the garden. Hope you guys had a chance to get into your garden and do some work. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.